Hello, and this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey, and welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A. Sorry for the delay, guys. I had a lot of stuff going on today, and my eyes are a little red because I just put on my contacts. So that kind of caused some discomfort. So if you are new to the show, this is a show where we give you all the weekly news as well as answer all of your questions live in the comment section. So first, I'm going to get through all the articles because there was a lot that went on this week in mobile world. Then we're going to go to the 2 email questions that were not about the Galaxy S5. And then at 8:30 p.m. in about an hour, we will be doing a live Samsung Android Weekly, where, the Galaxy S5 essentially. I'm going to answer any and all questions you have about the Galaxy S5 at 8:30. So if you do have questions about that, feel free to tune in at that time. And just let me get this comment section rolling. And then we'll start. Okay. Live now. There we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. At least not as bad as last week. All right, then let's start off with the first bit of news, and that is Samsung actually beat Apple in the opening weekend stats percentage-wise. Now, what does this exactly mean? Because I want to clarify this. So we have not heard any official word on Samsung's sales over the opening weekend, but what we have heard already is that they actually dominated more. So let's go to the article, and let me show you what I mean. And as you can see right here, so on opening weekend for the S5 compared to the iPhone 5S, 25% of people, so one out of every 4 phones that were sold were Galaxy S5s compared to every other phone sold in the US. That is pretty impressive to take literally that much of a great percentage mark. Now, the other thing you can note right here is the iPhone did have an impressive 18%, but still not as much in comparing to the S5 dominating the weekend. Everyone was pretty much buying this phone over the weekend in comparison to the iPhone. Now, this was in the US and in Canada. So in Canada, we also had 18% compared to 13%, a 5% increase right here, but really the 8% is pretty significant. I mean, if you consider that the U.S. is the top seller of iPhones by far compared to other countries, whereas Samsung does sell in the U.S. very well, of course, but they do sell overall in a lot of other areas as well. And the article does go into about like how each one did, and definitely this area was the biggest contributor. West Coast a little bit less, and which makes sense because you have San Francisco, Los Angeles, some Semi Valley, some key places where Apple reigns supreme. But then you have a lot of other places like New York and definitely, I mean, the whole Southern Belt really prefers Samsung, it seems like. So those are interesting things of how the areas did on their own. Then we have some word on the LG G3. So we're going to have 2 articles on this. First one is, well, actually, let's go to first how it looks. So the new UI looks a lot nicer. My biggest complaint about LG phones has been the interface. I find it almost half done. Like, they're on the verge of something good, but they're not quite there yet. And that's how I feel about the G2. And oh my God, the Flex was just a nightmare. But the idea behind this one is it really looks clean. It looks so much nicer. I really don't like these 2 that much, but that's, it's a palette thing of color, so, that can easily be changed. But it just, I mean, this whole presentation right here, this whole row looks so much nicer, so much neater, and I really like how the interface looks. So I really like that. In this, I don't know about the news feed here. I feel like they're trying to, it seems like an attempt at, well, we're not Blink Feed, we're not My Magazine from the other 2 Android makers, but we do have like quick articles right here you can click on. Which, I mean, it's not as invasive, and it still only takes up 2 rows, it seems like, but we'll see. The favorites one is nicer. It's a little bit smaller. I would just still prefer like a folder more so, but this is okay. And even like this part looks a lot cleaner, although I still hate the Q-Slide apps. I think LG should really ask how many people use these Q-Slide apps, and if it's not that many, just get rid of them. I really, the calculator and the calendar I could probably see, but as far as, well, I can't see contact messaging. I can see calendar and calculator, but maybe like do what Samsung does and pull it from the side or something like that. But at the top, it It makes this always seem too busy. And down below, again, just a music widget, and that's about it. The gallery looks very nice, I will say that. And the folders, we get a little bit of an idea. They look okay. They look interesting. I feel like they're going more for an apple, but instead of a square type look, they're going for a circle, but so you can see kind of all the apps in there, which is useful. But I kind of like the presentation of kind of when you can see the first three, and then we'll find out what's in the rest, kind of thing. All right. And then we find out more about what apps are preloaded into the G3. So it looks like they're pretty much just updating some of there. So Q Voice, which I don't know of anyone that uses this instead of Google Now. I wish, like, and this goes for Samsung too. I think S Voice and Q Voice should be for driving mode. Besides that, leave them alone. You don't need this kind of technology. Google Now is far superior. So that's my stance. You do not need internet security. This annoys me to no end. Delete this immediately. Any of you that buy a G3, just delete this immediately. And everything else kind of seems interesting. I'm curious what Gboard is. Enterprise Suite. It looks like they're trying to take on the BlackBerry range, just like Apple and Samsung are. Easy Home. So it looks like they're going to have an Easy Home, kind of like Samsung has Easy Mode on theirs. And yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. So that's going to be the G3. And then LG has some other news, and that is the G Watch. So we get the two colors that are going to be coming out, the white band with the gold trim and the black band. And I have to say, this strap looks extremely cheap. I mean, just extremely cheap. I really don't care for it that much. There it is, champagne gold and stealth black. But the square looks nice, but the strap just looks extremely cheap. I hope it is at least interchangeable, so you can just immediately get rid of it. But because I don't see a pin, I'm not sure if it will be. Hopefully it will be. Maybe you just can't put it on the side, and it's going to be a smaller pin, maybe like a 18mm pin or a 20mm pin. But yeah, I mean, one thing I love about my new Gear 2 is that I immediately put a metal band on it. That was so much nicer. Or I could put a leather band on it. I ordered a leather band recently. So first things we do know about this device are a couple of things. One, it's always going to have, it's very Google-centric. It's going to be Android Wear, so we're going to really get to see it. And you can see the kind of things that you're able to do here. You're also going to be able to have it always on, which is kind of interesting to see how long will it last then if the screen is always on. I'm curious what technology they're going to be using for that. You also have water and dust resistance confirmed, so it will be able to most likely go 3 feet underwater for 33 minutes. And I want this, although it's just honestly nothing in comparison to the Moto G Watch from what we've seen. And in other news, the Sony Xperia Z2 Tablet has come out. So this is a really interesting tablet. It just definitely has the best of the best right now. I want it. But yeah, it's a really interesting kind of style in what it looks like right now. It just basically has the best of the best. So let's just give you a quick rundown. It does have an 8.1 megapixel. It does have the Snapdragon 801 processor, if I'm not mistaken. Although on their own site they don't have as much information on it. Yes. Here you go, 801 processor. It is the 2.3 version, and it is, of course, IP55, so that means it is waterproof. And IP58 means it's waterproof. IP55 means it's dust resistant. And it is an 8.1 megapixel camera. It is going to be a 2.2 in the front, and then we do have a 1080p display at 1920 by 1200. Do you guys want me to review this tablet? I'm definitely curious because Sony tablets have not been as popular in the past, but this one, I mean, specs-wise, it's going to be the best one out. So do you guys want me to review it? Please let me know in the comment section down below if you are interested in this device. All right, and then we have iPhone 6, the 5.5-inch. Now, this was scheduled to come out at the end of 2014, so most likely in November when November it would be released most likely, and late October is when it would be announced along with the new iPads. But it looks like it's going to be delayed until 2015. Why? Because of the battery issues. Now, I think this could be, of course, because of what they're saying is a battery issue, But what I'm really kind of thinking is that it might also be for the fact that really Apple, I don't think they have the manufacturing capability to produce two phones simultaneously, plus all of these new iWatches that they're going to produce, and then the new iPads. It just they don't have the manufacturing capability to do all of this, so I don't think they will be able to. So now, still in September, we're going to see the 4.7-inch iPhone, and we're going to see the two iWatches, and then in November we're going to have the new iPads. But I just do not see this device coming until most likely March of 2015, I would say. And then, of course, we have the OnePlus One. This phone is pretty damn amazing. It is a Snapdragon 801 processor, 3 gigs of RAM. By the way, this processor is the same one that HTC One and Samsung have. This is 3 gigs of RAM, and it's a 13 megapixel Sony Exmor-R camera. And it comes in at $299. This is really, really impressive. It also has a battery of 3100 milliamps. That is better than both the Galaxy S5 and the HTC One currently are. The front face camera is also 5 megapixels, and it does have a 4G network, although I'm not sure if this is really going to be compatible with LTE in the US, so that remains to be seen. The other thing is important to note is that it comes in 16 gig and 64 gig, but there is no SD card slot. So here's the thing. For the US variant, we are going to be able to get it for $299 and $349. The problem is that this is an invitation only right now. So that's kind of, I would say that's really the biggest downside, because this phone does have a lot of nice features. You even have customizable backings that we're going to get later on. You just have a really nice cyanogen mod, so it's basically stock Android for those of you who like stock Android. And it really has a lot of nice features to it, but the main thing that I have a problem with is that I can't buy it right now, that it's just not available. So that's going to be my big thing, and the white will be the 16 gig, and I believe the black or the white is available in the 64 gig. But it will be shipping out May 1st for those people that got the invite, but for those of us who didn't, we shall see, and we shall wait for this device. Are you guys interested in this device? It is by CyanogenMod. That's the number one for really people that root their devices. But for people that don't root their devices, they probably have never heard of this company. So it's really interesting to see how everything is going in that aspect. All right, and the last bit of news, and then we will go into the questions. If you are just joining me, I would like to reiterate that if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will answer them as we go along. As well as we will have a Q&A for the Galaxy S5 at 8:30 p.m. in a little bit, so make sure you tune in for that. Now, for the last bit of information for today on articles, it is going to be on the leaks that we've had for Google Now. So Google Now, what it seems like it's going to be is it's on future Android devices. It seems like it's going to be always on, kind of like how the Moto X is. So this is really nice because the fact that it seems like some now details are kind of all over the place with this, but the idea seems behind it that we will be able to somehow do something like OK Google in any part of the section of the phone, or tap a button and then just use the phone through voice commands, and the voice commands will be a lot more intelligent. More like things like open up this app and then reply to this person. If this is able to, I mean, this is really, really nice. I mean, this is the next level of voice commands if this is able to do it. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because this is something that would really show up both Contra and Siri with the voice command operations on other OSs. So I would be really excited to see if this comes to fruition. If it does or not, well, we'll have to wait and see. All right, and now the streaming status, it seems a little bit bad right now. Sorry for that, guys. If you do have any questions, so leave them in the comment section down below. I do only have 2 questions that were not about the Galaxy S5, so I will be answering those. And then after, we will be answering other questions that you guys leave in the comment section down below. Although I'm not sure if you guys are viewing this live stream because of the stream is kind of iffy right now. Yeah. Yeah, the stream is kind of iffy right now. It looks like it's getting better now, and it's finally catching up, so it improved. So hopefully, if you guys are watching live, you can feel free to ask any questions in the comment section down below. And if not, again, always email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions live next week. All right, Ali Alba Ali Alba asks, how do I download Adobe Flash on the Samsung Home Sync? I'm trying to watch TV online. Thank you. So this is actually a video I have done, how to install Adobe Flash on Android. So look for that video. I have one on how to install Adobe Flash on Android and how to install Adobe Flash on the S4, I believe. I haven't I don't want to do it for like every single device. So I've done the video, but I feel like I always, because I leave out certain names, some people don't know how to do it on this device or that device. But it's the same process. You have the link on how to get Adobe Flash on your device. However, you will also need to download Firefox, which I'm not sure if Samsung Home Sync will allow you to do so. So if you cannot do it, you're going to do this. Okay. So if you can not download Firefox on your Samsung Home Sync, this is what you're going to do. You are going to Google Firefox APK, and then you're going to go to something like here or here and download the browser, and that's simply it. You cannot download from the Google Play Store if it's not going to be compatible with your Home Sync from the Google Play Store. So first look in your Google Play Store to see if you can download Firefox to it. If not, you will need to do that Google search and download Firefox APK, and then you will be fine. Hopefully that answers your questions, Al. Let me know if it did. And the second question is from K Brown. K Brown asks, good morning, RICKY, the Android guy. Well, thank you for pronouncing my name. I recently purchased the Samsung Home Sync on eBay. Unfortunately, it still has the previous user's email set as the administrator. Is there any way to master reset the password? So, there is a way. I don't know how Samsung did it on this device, though. That's the only thing. There should be a way to do it without getting too technical, because you can't hook this one up to what's called Odin, which is how you can redo it through a computer. But you should be able to reset it with some combination. Samsung always puts one like on their phones. It is power, home button, and volume up to get into the bootloader. Let's see. Onto the Let's see if I can find anything for you guys. Samsung Home Sync. So there is a lot of people trying to even hack this device. So it should be able to be done. Just look for how to hold on one second. I'm trying to find it for you. How to Let's look for that. Great, thanks, HomeSync. That was awesome. So yeah, there should be some way to be able to, that if you cannot get into it. I just can't find it at the moment. Sorry, I was trying to do everything kind of quickly today. But there should be a way for you to hard reset it, and that's what you're looking for, how to hard reset the Samsung Home Sync. But yes, it should be available somewhere on there. Now perform. I think it's actually on the third one right here. Let me see. Sorry, trying to answer for you. Trying to answer for you. Brexit. How to update it. Okay, yeah. So there's a whole thing right here. So that's how you do it. So funny enough, my video comes up for it. How to system reset the Samsung Home Sync, and here is the link you should click, and that should help you out. They have a step-by-step on how to do it there. So hopefully that answers your question. And now that we answered the emailed questions, now we will go to the live viewer questions. So let's take a look and see what we have. If you have another question, please ask it in the comment section down below, and I will be able to answer it. What's up, Ricky? I have Sprint right now, and I'm interested in the OnePlus One. Do you know if it sells a GSM phone or a CDMA phone? I believe it's just going to be GSM, unfortunately, man. Sorry. So I believe it will be a GSM only. I have not heard anything about a CDMA version. Unfortunately, they have really, let's see if their website has been updated at all, but they have really just been like, oh, you want to get one? Click this link. Oh, you want to, they've been very, very like just not really kind of letting people know all of the feature, let me see, specifications. So here, let's show you what their specifications on their website says. So according to their website, it should have GSM and World CDMA, which I believe should be able to work with Sprint. These two bands should be fine for Sprint, as far as I know, because they just added their new band, which should be compatible with that now. So actually, I would say it should work for Sprint, since it is both GSM and WCDMA, which makes sense. A lot of Asian countries where it's being released is going to be CDMA and not GSM. So it makes sense that this one is both. But yeah, I'm really interested in this device. I mean, hardware-wise, it matches every flagship device that costs $650 and more. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? It's like, well, this has the same hardware, if not better hardware than certain devices. Like, I would choose the OnePlus One over the HTC One. Yeah, I said it. I would completely choose it. And that's even with the camera. I will be coming out with the full review for the HTC One, but man, that camera. Oh man, that camera. But yes, so it's really interesting to see how all of this device, will it be big? Will people care about it? I don't think it's going to be any bigger than the standard techies that love the new this kind of company. If you know CyanogenMod, you're probably getting the OnePlus One. If you never heard of CyanogenMod before this phone, you're most likely not going to get this. And that's all there is to it. They do not have the brand recognition of an HTC, of an LG, of a Sony. Look, Sony is not like a killer by any means in the mobile world, but if they launch a phone, you'll know about it more than the CyanogenMod phone. So, and that's just the thing. You do not know with this company. So I'm really kind of curious to see how this is going to do. I think it's a great device. Absolutely, I completely think it's a great device, and I think it's really worth a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens with this. So that will be it for today, guys. We're going to cut it a little bit short just because I do have to do a couple of things, and we're going to be back in half an hour. So if you do have any questions, I had about, wait, I have one more question. I will answer this question, and then I will head out. Now, the only thing I'm waiting for is the Note 4, which I know the price is going to be up there. True. The Note 4 will probably be what? I think the last Note was 749 or 799, depending on which carrier it was for. 739, I think, was the cheapest it went. But yeah, so the Note is going to be the higher price device, plain and simple. The nice thing about the Note is, it does come with a 32 gig plus expandable storage. So that is more rare. Most devices don't usually come with 32 gig and expandable. They either come with 16 and expandable or 32 gig and not expandable. So, but the Note is, I mean, I can't tell you how many people that I've shown my S5 to, and they're like, "When's the Note coming out?" It's amazing. It's hilarious, and I was like, "Man, I mean, there's people that love the Note, and that is really impressive but that's what honestly Samsung needs. The first Note was laughed at a lot, but it sold decent. The second Note sold very well, and no one was no longer laughing because this phone was selling, and it was outselling all the new challengers. LG came out with their VU, then LG came out with the G Pro. Then by the time the Note 3 came around, Lumia tried their hand in it with the 1520. LG tried their G Flex. You had HTC with the One Max. All of those sold horribly. Not one of those sold well. So Samsung has done something that no other manufacturer has done, and that is they've create not I wouldn't say created the phablet because the phablet was technically created by Dell, the Dell Venue I think it was called, but Samsung reinvented the phablet and perfected it, and it is the top-selling phablet. In that screen size, there is no phone that compares to it in sales. None. I mean, not even close. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, LG is the second, I believe, or third top-selling phone company in the world. It's either them or Lenovo, actually. But either way, in the U.S., they're the second top-selling one over HTC, and they sell a lot of smartphones. So LG came out with their G2, and that was their flagship. They came out with it in, I believe, September, and in September they launched the phone. And once they launched it, they said they were planning on selling 10 million before the end of the year. Actually, I think it was August. I think they launched theirs in August. Maybe even earlier. I don't know. It was July or August probably. But they launched it well before the Note. And they had planned on selling 10 million of them. That was a very ambitious thing. They were like, we're going to send 10 million of these devices, and we're going to produce them like crazy, and we're going to make sure we get the devices. Cool. Problem is they sold 3.5, I think, at most, but 3 million instead of 10 million. And say the span of 5 to 6 months. So in the span of 5 to 6 months, they could only sell about 3 million. This was their flagship. This was supposed to be their biggest seller. Samsung, their big seller is the S series. I know a lot of people love the Note series, but it does not sell. It does not. It sells about at half or less than half the rate of the S series. So the S series sells a lot more. But so the Note is not their flagship, but it's an amazing phone. The Note is not their flagship, and this phone, the Note 3, sold 5 million in the first month. So in 1 month, they basically just wiped the floor with the second highest Android manufacturer in 1 month. So this is what is just so impressive. Is yes, I agree with you. I cannot wait for the Note 4 as well. I'm just because in the S5 video we'll talk about in about 20 minutes, no, 25 minutes. A lot of people have asked me between these two devices, the S5 and the Note 3. A lot of people have asked me between these two devices, and really, it's a really interesting comparison. And if anyone asks me what would I get right now, it would be the Galaxy S5. And if you want to know why, well, then tune in about 25 minutes, and we will discuss why. But yeah, if anyone asks me which phone I would get right now between the Note 3 and the S5, it would be the S5. However, if you are a Note fan and you love that screen size, wait for the Note 4. Because if you get the Note 3 right now, guarantee you, in what, we're already in April. The Note 4 will most likely come out September, October. So you're looking at 5 to 6 months. So in about 5 to 6 months, you're going to be pissed if you get the Note 3 right now, because the Note 4 will come out. It'll blow the Note 3 out of the water, and it'll destroy the S5, and you will be very upset. So if you need a phone right now, I would get the S5. If you can wait and you love the Note series, wait for the Note 4. That's my recommendation. All right, guys. Again, sorry I have to cut this short, but I do need to kind of do a couple of things before we get to the next video, which is in half an hour. So if you didn't get your question answered, please come back in about half an hour, where we will do the Samsung Galaxy S5 Q&A. I have about like 6 or 7 ones that were emailed to me questions. So I will get to those questions, and then I'll answer any other questions in the comment section down below. So if you need to ask a question about the Galaxy S5, I will answer those first. So email me again at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com, right down here below, and I will answer your question live in about half an hour. Thank you for watching, guys, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and please give that thumbs up button down below. It really helps me out. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.